arbitration, or CIPAA? What is the difference, and which should you choose? Welcome to CLSA Law Simplified, simplifying the law for everyone. If you are a contractor, you might have faced this problem before. You carried out your work properly and according to specifications. You completed your work on time. You then submit your progress claims for payment with all relevant supporting documents. But then, your progress claims are not certified, and you are not receiving any payments. Despite numerous reminders and demands from you, you continue to wait for your payment certificates and payment. Unfortunately, this is a very common problem in the construction industry. Contractors facing this type of problem often had to take legal action to recover their payment. But what type of legal actions they can take? In Malaysia, there are 3 types of legal actions that contractors may take. In this video, we will give an overview of each type and the differences between them. In the future, we will in a separate video, discuss each type of legal action in greater detail. 1. Suing in court, or litigation. This is the traditional legal route where a contractor files a lawsuit against the defaulting party in the Malaysian courts. The process starts by the contractor filing a lawsuit. Parties will exchange pleadings giving particulars about their claims or defenses. The parties will then disclose and exchange the evidence they wish to tender at trial. A judge will hear the case and then delivers a judgment. The losing party has the right to appeal against the judgment to a higher court. Pros and cons of litigation. The advantages of suing in court are: A. Finality. A court judgment is final and binding, subject to appeals to higher courts. B. Scope. Courts can hear a wide range of disputes, not just payment issues, including contract breaches, negligence, and other complex claims. They can also grant various remedies like injunctions and specific performance. C. Cost. For some cases, the cost may be lower than arbitration. The disadvantages of suing in court in comparison with the other 2 legal avenues are: A. Time-consuming. Litigation can be a lengthy process, often taking several years to reach a final decision, especially with potential appeals. B. Costly. Legal fees, court fees, and other expenses can be substantial. C. Public. Court proceedings are generally open to the public, which may expose sensitive business information. D. Arbitration. If your contract has an arbitration clause that requires you to refer all disputes to arbitration, then you are bound to do so, and you are not permitted to sue in court. 2. Arbitration. Arbitration is an alternative dispute resolution (ADR) method where parties agree to submit their dispute to an impartial third party called the arbitrator, or a panel of arbitrators, for a binding decision. You can only arbitrate if your contract with the defaulting party has an arbitration clause that requires both of you to refer all disputes under the contract to be resolved by arbitration. Otherwise, you cannot force the other party to arbitrate if he does not consent to do so. Generally, an arbitration goes through the following process. If your contract has an arbitration clause, you initiate arbitration by serving a notice to arbitrate on the defaulting party. Parties need to agree on an arbitrator, or one is appointed by an institution, for example, by the director of the Asian International Arbitration Center or AIAC. The proceedings involve submission of written arguments, evidence, and often oral hearings, similar to a court trial, but usually less formal. The arbitrator issues an arbitral award, which is legally binding. The pros and cons of arbitration. The advantages of arbitration are: A. Confidentiality. Arbitration proceedings are private and confidential, protecting sensitive business information. B. Expertise. Parties can choose an arbitrator with specific expertise in construction law or the technical aspects of the dispute, leading to more informed decisions. You are not allowed to choose your judge if you sue in court. C. Flexibility. The parties have more control over the procedure and timelines. D. Enforceability. Arbitral awards are generally enforceable in court and internationally under conventions like the New York Convention. The disadvantages of arbitration are: A. Cost. While often quicker than litigation, arbitration can still be expensive, with arbitrator fees, administrative fees, and legal costs. B. No appeals. Only setting aside, there is no direct appeal against an arbitral award. You may apply to the High Court to set aside an arbitral award, but the grounds for doing so are limited to procedural irregularities rather than the merits of the decision. C. Consent required. As mentioned, you can only go to arbitration if both parties have agreed to it, usually through an arbitration clause in the contract. 3. CIPAA or Construction Industry Payment and Adjudication Act 2012. The Construction Industry Payment and Adjudication Act 2012 or CIPAA is a law specifically designed to help contractors to get their claims adjudicated quicker and to improve their cash flow. It operates on the principle of pay now, argue later. You can make a CIPAA claim only if the claim is for payment due for construction works carried out under a written contract that was entered into after CIPAA came into effect, that is the 15th of April 2014, as defined under the Act. CIPAA is similar to arbitration where the dispute is referred to a third party called an adjudicator instead of an arbitrator to hear and decide. A CIPAA claim generally involves the following process. You, as the unpaid party, serve a payment claim on the non-paying party. The non-paying party has 10 working days to serve a payment response, admitting or disputing the claim. Failure to respond means the entire claim is deemed disputed. If the dispute remains, you serve a notice of adjudication and an adjudicator is appointed, either by agreement of the parties or by the director of AIAC. Thereafter, the adjudication claim, adjudication response and adjudication reply are submitted with supporting documents within strict timelines. The adjudicator issues an adjudication decision within 45 working days, from the adjudication reply or expiry of the time for the adjudication response. The pros and cons of CIPAA. The advantages of CIPAA are: A. Speed. This is the most significant advantage. The entire process, from payment claim to adjudication decision, is typically completed within approximately 100 working days. B. Cost effective. Generally, much cheaper than litigation or arbitration due to the shorter timelines and more streamlined process. C. Temporary finality. The adjudication decision is binding and enforceable unless it is set aside by the High Court, or the dispute is finally decided by arbitration or court. This means the other party usually has to pay the adjudicate amount first, even if they intend to pursue the matter further. D. Don't need to wait. When the project is still ongoing, you can start a CIPAA claim for your unpaid progress claims. You don't need to wait until the project ends before starting this claim. Therefore, your claim gets adjudicated quicker. E. Concurrent proceedings. If your contract has an arbitration clause, you can still use CIPAA for payment disputes. A CIPAA claim can run concurrently with arbitration or a lawsuit in court. F. Enforcement. If the adjudicate amount isn't paid, you can enforce the decision as a judgment of the High Court after registering the decision. CIPAA also provides remedies like the right to suspend work or seek direct payment from the principal. G. Mandatory. Pay when paid, or back-to-back payment, clauses are generally void under CIPAA. They cannot be used as excuses to contract out of CIPAA. The disadvantages of CIPAA are: A. Limited scope. CIPAA only deals with payment disputes under a construction contract. It does not cover other types of disputes like claims for general damages, defects, or tortious claims. B. Temporary finality. While binding, the adjudication decision is only temporarily final. The parties can still refer the underlying dispute to arbitration or litigation for a final determination. C. Strict timelines. The timelines are very strict, and failure to comply can be detrimental to your case. D. Document-based. Adjudication is largely document-based, so strong documentary evidence is crucial. Oral testimony is rare due to the tight deadlines. So, which type of legal actions is suitable for you? This is a question that only you can answer after you have sought proper legal advice. You should consult a lawyer who practices construction laws to help you to assess your specific contract, the nature of your claims, and guide you on the most strategic approach, whether it's initiating a CIPAA adjudication, considering arbitration, or pursuing litigation. This is the end of our sharing for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and would like to watch more videos of similar topics, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.